Hello again, my MMA true believers. I am Jason Burgos for Sherdog.com, and I'm joined by not only the number 8 ranked fighter in the UFC women's flyweight division, but also the Sherdog year-end award winner for Upset of the Year in 2020. This MMA pioneer returns to action on January 20th when she battles number 9 ranked Brazilian talent Vivane Araujo. She is your favorite happy warrior. She's my favorite happy warrior. She's the one and only Roxanne Modafferi. Madam Warrior, thank you for the time before your octagon return.
What an amazing intro. Thank you.
My pleasure. Well earned, well deserved. I'm always excited to do it for you. And I have so many questions for you, and I'm excited to talk about those too. Now,
bring it on.
I follow you, of course, on Instagram. Always admire your fun-loving attitude, especially in the midst of a pretty terrible pandemic we're all dealing with. How did you stay so positive despite what we're all going through in this country, especially in the U.S. It's bad? What would be 3 tips for all of us to stay pandemic positive? And is there any chance you could lend your happy DNA to Pfizer BioNTech so we could have unabashed joy when we get our vaccines?
Oh my gosh, that's such a loaded freaking question, man. Man, so, I don't always feel super positive, but I always try to remind myself and fill my mind with reminding myself of and having gratitude for the things that I do have. Yeah. I believe that our thoughts control our emotions, so when I'm feeling down about something, I try to remind myself of the positives and just do what I can do in my current situation until I can do more. That's one of my favorite sayings. So, whether the gym is closed and I can go outside and run or kickbox in the parking lot with my training partners, whatever, I try to do that and just, tell myself that I'm happy with what I've got.
Fair enough. I'm with that 1,000%. Now, since May of 2017, you have one of the more unusual statistical anomalies in the UFC right now. You have alternated between wins and losses for 9 straight fights, which is also the entirety of your run in the UFC. Now, Valentina Shevchenko's title challengers, except for Jessica Eye, have only gotten title shots off of this 2-fight winning streaks, and Jessica Eye's was just a 3-fight winning streak. So, winning 2 out of 3 in this division can get you right into a title shot. How frustrating has this run been in the UFC? Because you've certainly done a lot of great things in your time in the UFC, but not being able to get that winning streak traction has kept you away from a title shot that's right there always for you all the time.
Man, I feel like my career has been a roller coaster, of positives and negatives. So I've been more frustrated about the circumstances surrounding these things. I mean, it does make for kind of a colorful Christmassy style on my Sherdog with the alternate beds.
Yeah.
But a lot of my opponents missed weight, so that was like the most frustrating thing, because then I have that hanging over me, like I'll never know whether that affected the fight or not. A few times I've been injured. Sometimes, I just had great performances. So I don't know. So I'm trying not to be frustrated about the win-loss thing. I'm just trying to, hopefully I'll break it with my next win. I'll have 2 in a row. I'm trying not to, really focus on anything after that, that gets you in trouble. So I'm just going to focus on beating Vivane and my improvements. And I'm super, super stoked and excited to show you guys what I've got.
Looking forward to this fight coming. I wanted to talk about Viviane's fight with Montana De La Rosa. While not nearly as experienced as you, she's also a pretty good grappler in her own right as well. However, it seemed like after some early calf kicks, a few stuffed takedowns, Montana went away from pursuing the takedown aggressively in that fight, despite having a clear disadvantage on the feet too. Did you watch that fight at all? Glean some intel for yourself? Did Montana back up too much? Did she miss certain opportunities when she was grappling with Vivane? Did Vivane just have and execute a great game plan? Or is this what makes MMA so good? Styles make fight, and your style of going after takedowns and grappling is just very different from Montana's.
I think the last thing you said is exactly, hit the nail right on the head. I love Montana. We trained a lot during the Ultimate Fighter. I was kind of rooting for her. I think Vivane is a little faster than Montana, and I think that made a lot of the difference. I think Montana's striking looked very much improved. I was impressed. Montana's wrestling is also really good. I felt like she sometimes didn't set it up as slick as she could have. Maybe that's why she didn't get it. But my style is very weird, and I have some plans. It'll go differently than Montana's fight. So I'm pretty fast too, and pretty tricky. So you shall see.
Do you watch that fight? And when you saw it, do you? Because I know fighters in division
Yeah, I
will
watch
look.
it.
And do you like see, because you always possibly, oh, I could fight that person. Where you're looking at that fight and go, oh, if it were me, I would.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah.
Yeah. Viviane likes to push forward and fight that strong traditional Muay Thai style and stuff like that. You also like to push forward, can be aggressive when you're fighting in there. Does Viviane like need to be careful pushing forward on you, maybe walking into your really strong jab, into a takedown? Do you need to be careful with your own aggression and not play into her Muay Thai wheelhouse? This is a fascinating fight in both your styles, and you're both meeting in the middle. This is going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. She better be careful of everything.
Fair enough. Now, like I mentioned before, this fight is just another in a long line of facing, some pretty good strikers who that's their strong point, what they use more times than not, even if they can grapple too. What makes Viviane's different than someone like an Andrea Lee, a Lauren Murphy, Macy Barber?
I will tell you. It's
All
because
right.
I haven't fought her before.
Well, there you
go.
go.
You know how many rematches I've had in my career? Like 9 or something ridiculous. I'm like, yes, I haven't fought her before. Heck yeah. I'm stoked about that.
But on technical level, is there things that she offers that's a little more dangerous to them, and maybe on certain levels, technically striking, that she's easier to deal with than those women?
Probably.
But you're not gonna tell me.
Her speed is like pew 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 like that.